If you're a long-time viewer of this channel, you might actually recognize this spot. Actually, yeah. I believe this is day 7 or 8. I don't know, but it is in the high single digits. I don't do this every day consistently, but I try to do it at least a couple of times a week, and this time I think I've done it 3 or 4 because it's Saturday. Usually I do 4 laps. I'll run the first one, and then second and third and fourth I just kind of see how it goes. Sometimes I'll end up running the whole thing, sometimes I'll do half walking, half run, sometimes 3/4 run. It just really depends on what I'm doing and how I'm feeling. You know, am I keeping good pace? Am I trying to go as fast as possible? I've never actually timed myself though for each lap, and that's kind of what I want to do today. And every single time I've done this, whether it's been, 7 times, 9 times, I've lost count. Not once have I remembered sunglasses, so maybe 10th time is the charm, I don't know. Yeah, it's really just circling this. Right, after taking away a few seconds just because I had to start timer set down and then start, I think it was about 2:20, so that's pretty good. I didn't used to be like that great of a runner, so that's definitely improvement, especially if you multiply that times 4, which would be probably a mile, if not somewhat close to a mile, because I think this is kind of a big track, so it's probably pretty close, if not a little over, to a 1/4 mile. So, and then I think it was specifically on day 4 that I started doing 4 laps. I used to, first 3 days I was just doing 3 laps just to get the feel of pacing and breathing techniques, like stuff like that. So day 4 I was like, you know what, let's do 4 laps, and I've been sticking with it for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days now. So I'll do another one. I think I'll walk this one, but I'll still time it. And by walk I mean partially walk. I forgot I was timing this until like 3 seconds before I got here. So that was almost 4 minutes. So it was like 4:02, but account for 3 to 5 seconds of putting phone down and running. About 3:57, so almost 4 minutes. And that was with me walking two of these. So yeah, let's say for the sake of argument, like, even though I consider this like a round circular lap, let's say for the sake of convenience it's like a square, so it's 4 separate like tracks make 1 lap. So I walked 2 of those, and then I ran 2 of those, and that's pretty typical for the second round. Usually I don't run the entire thing, unless there was one time where I walked and ran a hybrid for the first lap, and then I think completely ran the second lap. But this was half and half for the second lap, which is pretty good, pretty normal. I think my record so far of like walking the least was yesterday. It was more overcast yesterday, and I ran the first one, ran my 4th one, and then between the second and third laps I only walked 3 times. So, take all the laps, say it's square again, so that's 16 tracks for 4 laps. I only walked 3 of the tracks, so 13/16 of the time I was running, so that's really good. And I don't know if there's going to be a point where I can run all of it or not, but even walking, it's pretty good for a pretty good time, I would say, for walking half of it. I don't know what I'll do for this 3rd one. Maybe I'll try to run some of it.
There I am, Gary, there I am!
I just ran the whole thing. Okay, so I'll count for maybe 5 to 7 seconds. Might have been closer to 10, but starting the timer, setting the camera up in place and whatnot, so it got to 2:29, but that was probably closer to like 2:19, I would say, which is like 5 seconds less than my first lap, but I felt like I was going faster that one. I guess it's different too, because like because usually I would walk some of this, but I usually don't run the entire 3rd lap. Usually I just finish strong and run the entire 4th, or just run the first and do halves or 3/4 running the rest of it. But this one I just felt really inspired, and I was about 3/4 of the way, and I kind of felt like I should start walking, but I didn't. I was like, you know what, I'm 3/4 of the way through, you know, haven't walked yet, let's just finish this lap strong. And so it's like if I was gonna walk, I should have done it earlier, not at the very end. So I ran this whole third lap, which is unusual on the first, so pretty good. I think I'll time the fourth lap, but I'm not looking for anything to beat the second lap's run time. Real sweat. And before these runs, usually I'll do some push-ups, maybe a couple sets of 5. I might do burpees, I might do what's the word I'm looking for? Like the weights. I'll usually do like some bicep curls or like some of that old action. Alright, it is sunny, it is low to mid 60s out, and there's nobody else here. I love it. Today I'm going to do something of a science experiment. I'm going to see if my time does anything when I listen to music for 1 lap. Believe it or not, I've never done that before. So, what song will I be choosing? Thunder in Your Heart by John Farnham seems to be one on my mind today, so we'll try that. So that was 2:10. That is, well, next is probably like 2:09, you know, more or less a few seconds. So, I guess that could be considered like 2:07 maybe. So, I think last time I ran it was like 2:10, but I might have counted it as 2:20. So it's probably about 2:08. 2:07, 2:08. So what maybe saved me 2 seconds. But I guess I'll just say my record is 2:10. Yeah, 2:10 is my record. It might be 2:08 technically, but we'll say 2:10. So really the music doesn't do anything. When I'm just in my zone with no music, no anything else, I'm still doing pretty good. So yeah, time to go for 3 more, I guess. Forgot my sunglasses. Hey, I've been doing this for how long? And I only figured now, oh yeah, the water bottle can have my phone upright. Anyway, my second lap was, as you saw, a little bit of running, but there was also a lot of walking in it. I don't know, maybe it's probably like half run, half walk, if I'd want to say. And then that whole third lap that I just finished, it was completely a light jog the whole way. Lately, I've been trying to run at least 2 of the 4 laps I do, but I think that for this 4th lap, I'm going to take it a bit easier today. You know, nothing more than a light jog, probably a lot of walking. I don't know, I just don't know if I have that energy for one more full run in me today. But you know, being out here and walking or jogging at all is better than, you know, not being out here whatsoever. So, it's still good, I think. Alright, get some water and now it's time to go do that. So that 4th lap was 3 tracks of walking and 1 track of a light jog, so no running whatsoever. I feel like doing this, you know, at least 2 or 3 times a week gives me something to look forward to. It gives me something to say that I've accomplished. You know, most people just use coffee to wake up in the morning. I don't drink coffee, so that's out of the question. Some people say, well, you know, make your bed, and then you can say, well, I've accomplished 1 thing today, and that'll change your whole mindset. But the thing is, I make my bed every day, so it's become kind of passé. It just sort of becomes the norm at this point. It's not something I have to aspire to do every day. But I think doing 4 laps is something that I have to aspire to, and it's, you know, something that I can say, well, I've done that. Because walking to the place, doing my 4 laps, and then walking home the long way takes about an hour. So yeah, I feel like that's a lot more of a chunk of time to say, oh yeah, I've accomplished this with my day. Plus, it gives me something to do. I don't go to college anymore because I've graduated, and I work, but only part-time. So really, my full-time job right now is keeping myself busy. And an hour for 2 or 3 times a week at least, that's pretty nice. That's 3 of my 40 hours, let's say. Especially when I run, it I don't think of anything while I'm running, but it allows my head to clear up a bit, and anything else can just kind of go away and dissipate. And sometimes I'll come up with an idea for a YouTube video, or a way to make a YouTube, like a certain scene of a YouTube video, kind of pop into my head, and so that's kind of worth it, I guess. Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'll be able to keep this up, especially when it gets colder than what it was today. Eventually it's gonna dip into the 40s and 30s outside, so I don't know. Either I'll just bundle up with warmer gear or drop it. I don't know. I don't even know what's coming up in 2 months life wise, so I guess that's kind of a depressing way to end this video.